Altcoin season. What does that mean exactly? And are we currently in it? On tonight's Crypto Talk Tuesday, we're going to take a deep dive into altcoin season. We'll also be reviewing the top performing coins for the year. Here's a spoiler: Dogecoin is on the list. I know, guys. I know. Let's get scholared. Welcome to another episode of Crypto Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Mario Johnson. And on tonight's episode, we're going to do a deep dive into altcoin season. Short explanation: altcoin season is basically any other cryptocurrency coin or token that's not Bitcoin. That's pretty much the definition of what an altcoin is. An altcoin season, in short, pretty much is basically it tracks the performance of Bitcoin versus all the other coins in cryptocurrency, on the cryptocurrency market. So basically what happens is once Bitcoin starts losing its dominance amongst the ranks as far as the market cap, overall market cap of the cryptocurrency market, that kind of determines whether or not we're in Bitcoin season or whether or not we're in what's called altcoin season. So real quick, we'll do a quick, kind of like a quick synopsis of exactly what altcoin season is, outside of what I just kind of said. So altcoin season, or alt season, as it's currently commonly referred to, is when investment in the cryptocurrency flows more heavily into altcoins than into Bitcoin. And like I said before, altcoin is pretty much every other coin outside of Bitcoin. Altcoins are often more volatile than Bitcoin, which can be great for the savvy trader looking to make some tasty gains. During an altcoin season, investors pour money into altcoins such as Ethereum, XRP, Dogecoin. I'm going to give Dogecoin its props. I ain't going to rack on Dogecoin today. As a result, this drives altcoin prices higher than normal. In fact, in many cases, altcoins have seen gains exceeding 100% in a very short period of time. This can be both exciting and scary, depending on how you view it. Now, the relationship of Bitcoin compared to altcoins, like I spoke about in regards to Bitcoin dominance. Now, for most of a cryptocurrency cycle, Bitcoin remains dominant to the altcoins. Much like gold and silver, Bitcoin has a ratio, which its market capitalization, also known as its market cap, is compared to other coins. Bitcoin dominance can be explained simply in this way. Let's imagine the total market cap of all cryptocurrencies currently stands at about $100 billion. If Bitcoin's market cap represented 60 billion of this, Bitcoin's dominance would stand at 60%. Nice little example right there. Now, what frequently happens during an alt season cycle is money moves away from Bitcoin to altcoins, which kicks off what's known as the altcoin season. In 2021, so far, we have already observed Bitcoin dominance decreasing as prices for altcoins have increased. You guys may have noticed Ethereum has hit an all-time high, Binance Coin has hit an all-time high, Theta hit all-time. Pretty much XRP is approaching its all-time high. Pretty much all of the altcoins, as we come into Q2 of 2021, have seen all-time highs, which is incredible. Now, starting with Bitcoin and moving down the market capitalization list, which we can review, I'll pull up on the chart here soon, we see more money moving into altcoins as the alt season 2021 kicks off. Now, investors tend to move from Bitcoin to Ethereum, then to the next coin, then to the next coin, etc. As a result, there's a cascading effect with investment money driving prices higher in altcoins and then moving further down the scale. Now, what I like to do and what I've seen so far is when we're in an alt season, yes, money shuffles away from Bitcoin and begins to move, more into the alternative coins. But once the Bitcoin dominance starts to rise again, basically once people start taking profit, what they do is they roll that profit out of those altcoins back over into Bitcoin. So that's when the dominance kind of goes back up. So you'll see like a cascading cycle. It kind of just depends on where the money's flowing at any given time. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the altcoin season index. Blockchaincenter.net has a really good tracking tool that kind of gives a breakdown of, if we're in alt season, if we're approaching alt season, if we're currently in Bitcoin season. They really do a good job of tracking this particular metric. So I wanted to show this to you guys so you can also use this as a tool, because this is one of the tools that I use in regards to kind of tracking how I'm going to do my investing. If we're currently in alt season, then we know that the prices of altcoins tend to be moving up. Which also means that you can, unlike except for right now, because right now is a little bit of an anomaly, but you can also kind of get Bitcoin on the cheap. Because all the money's kind of flowing away. So Bitcoin would take a dip, but right now everything's moving up. Bitcoin, as we know, has just reached an all-time high. It crossed $63,000. Let's see what it's currently at. And like I said before, what was that? 63,398. Awesome. And as I said before, altcoins are also seeing all-time highs. They're shooting through the roof. Ethereum, 2302. I got into Ethereum back when it was $200. I had no clue. I wanted it to get here, but I had no clue Ethereum was going to get to $2,300, and it's still growing. Current projections show Ethereum getting to anywhere in upwards of $10,000 for this particular season. So that's a big thing. Hold on a second, guys. Let me make sure I turn the sound off on my phone on when he calls or any messages coming through. My apologies there. That's why we do it live. Hold everybody accountable. But what I was getting into was pretty much right now is a weird transitional time because hell, everything's going up. Even Dogecoin, and I said I was gonna give Dogecoin its props. I'm gonna give Dogecoin its props. And Dogecoin right now is at where are we at? It's at 9.5 cents. Kudos and congratulations to Dogecoin. I rag on Dogecoin a lot. As a matter of fact, I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. I rag on Dogecoin a lot, and look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is basically giving me the fingers, like, F you, dude. I'm going to move up. Now, I will continue to say that that's a risky play because that's a pure speculation coin. It has no real world use case. It has no real utility. But, if you guys want to gamble, if you guys kind of want to take a major risk, even though it has a market cap right now of $12 billion. So, which in order for it to double, it would take another $12 billion of inflow just to double. So in order for it to go from, we'll say 10 cent to 20 cent, it would have to reach a $24 billion market cap. So that's going to take a lot of hype. But like I said, if you guys, want to take a chance, want to gamble, want to jump on that hype train, Dogecoin it is, baby. Ride that thing to what y'all say is going to the moon. I don't think it's going to the moon, but yeah, I guess it depends on how far the moon is for you. But way to go, Dogecoin. Yay, Dogecoin. So let's get into it. Now, what I was talking about before is blockchaincenters.net altcoin season index, and it pretty much gives a breakdown of whether kind of where we are in the cycle in regards to Bitcoin dominance. Are we looking at an approaching altcoin season? Are we currently in an altcoin season? And also, too, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the performance for over the past year, the past 90 days of all of the altcoins to kind of see where they stack up. Who's been the top performer, who's really been, kind of leading the race in regards to making the most gains in your investment so far. So as we can see right here, it talks about the altcoin index for the month. Now for the month, we're at 84. Now, 84 is incredible because that means that altcoins are definitely kicking Bitcoin's butt. So that's one metric that would kind of say that we're definitely, in an altcoin season. If you guys look over here also in the middle where it talks about the altcoin season index, we're at 92. Rule of thumb is if the index says that it's 75 or higher, that kind of confirms that we're in altcoin season. Anything that's below 75 kind of confirms that we're in Bitcoin season. So right now, altcoins is kicking ass. And yes, Chantel, go Ethereum. She put that in the chat. She's like, not really a question, but go ETH. Yes, going back up here. ETH is kicking ass, kicking the butt, as people like to say. $2,300. Go Ethereum. Binance Coin. $565. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story about me and Binance Coin. I discovered Binance Coin. Was it over the summer? It might have been over the summer. It was $16. $16 a coin when I first discovered Binance Coin. I had no idea what it was. I didn't know who Changpeng Zhao was. I didn't know, anything about this particular exchange other than the fact that it was an exchange and I couldn't get an account with it because I was a U.S. citizen. And that was back when they had, I found out about Binance.us, but that's not the exact same thing. Binance.us is a subsidiary of Binance, but very limited on its, coin listings, very limited trading pairs. Plus, at the time, they weren't allowing all U.S. residents to get accounts because they had to get, approval from each individual state. And my state wasn't on the list of approval at the time. So I kind of had a little, you know, I guess I was a little salty with Binance because as I started to do more research on it, and when I say Binance, I mean the BNB token, Binance coin. As I was doing a little more research on it, I was like, this coin has great potential. This coin looks like it can really do something because Binance was kind of putting themselves in position to be in all the different markets, all the different categories, DeFi, which they call CDFi, which makes absolutely no sense because they're, Binance is centralized and they call it centralized decentralized finance. It makes no sense to me, but whatever. I'm certain that their PR team has something to do with that. But needless to say, they have their launch pad. You got the Binance Smart Chain. Their fees are, pennies on the dollar in comparison to, doing trades on Ethereum. Hell, even in comparison to doing trades on Bitcoin, their fees are super cheap. And they have their hands and they're investing in a ton of starter projects. I'm sorry. So I was like, man, I really want to get into this Binance coin. And that's why I discovered the swaps, different swap websites. Like I'll pull up just kind of venturing off here for a second. I'll pull up the different, like CoinSwitch was one of the sites that I discovered where you can literally, swap to one token for another token. Mainly, I was doing Bitcoin at the time. And then there was another one. There was Changely. The one I really like is CoinSwitch or CoinSwap. But there were a lot of different places where you can actually swap one token for another. That's how I got my exposure into Binance. So say I think at the time I was, again, when I speculate and I don't know a lot about a particular project, I don't put a lot of money into it. So at the time, BNB, like I said, it was like $16. But oh wow, you can't even get it on Simple Swap. They must not have any liquidity for it at the moment. So let's go over here. But you can get it on CoinSwitch. So, anyway, I'm sidetracking. But what I was going to say was, it was through these platforms that I was able to get my initial exposure into BNB. $16. I think I put about $500 into it. Had no idea what I was doing. I was still learning, and I didn't have those diamond hands. But I knew that Binance, coin was going to do something. Man, as soon as that coin hit $100, I sold it. If you think about it, that's what, say 20. That's like a 5x. Almost a 6x. Off of my initial $500. So, hell, I made $2,500 off that coin. Man, I sold the hell out of that coin. And I'm being totally honest with you guys right now. But as I continue to increase my knowledge, increase my, my level, my ability to research, and I start finding out about certain tools and things that I can use to help with my actual investing, not trading, but investing, because that's what we talk about on here. We invest. These are long-term holds. I understood the true value of Binance, the true value of BNB. So I noticed it had pumped again here recently. I think it was around December, January. It had pumped. It had went up to like $330 some dollars, but then it tanked when Bitcoin took that huge dip. You guys remember Bitcoin took that huge dip? So it went all the way back down to almost, it went under 300. It was almost $200 that it went back down to. Man, I was buying my butt off and I got back into BNB. So that's why I'm so excited. Long story short, that's why I'm so excited that BNB is, really ballooning back up. Because when I saw it go from 330, 332 down to $200, I knew where it was. And I knew it only went down because Bitcoin went down. A rising tide lifts all boats. A shrinking tide sinks all boats. The water goes away, the boats go down with it. So because of the massive dip that Bitcoin took, it had no choice but to go down. but I knew where it was. I knew that once Bitcoin rebounded, because Bitcoin always, rebounds back up at some point, I knew that, certain coins were going to do the same thing. Jumped on Binance. I'm loving life right now. So yeah, that was a hell of a segue. But as we can see, as I kind of said here, this kind of confirms where we are. So remember when I was telling you guys, actually, sorry, let me switch back over so you guys can see what I see. And on the webinar, I remember to turn the camera on this time so you guys can actually see everything that I'm seeing for you guys on the Zoom call at the moment. My bad on that for last week. I take full responsibility for that, take full credit for that. That's on me. But anyway, going back to what we're talking about. So as you can see, when we talk about the altcoin season index, what I was mentioning before is that anytime that the index shows a number that's over 75, that kind of confirms that we're actually in altcoin season, meaning that altcoins are outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dominance has kind of gone down. Now, when we get down to where the index is below 25, I actually said when it was below 75, that kind of confirms Bitcoin season. But no, actually, it's when it's below 25, it confirms that we're in a Bitcoin season. So what that means is when we're up in this area, again, right now it's kind of anomaly because everything's going up at the same time. Altcoins are performing heavy. Not a bad idea to start looking into some Bitcoin. Not a bad idea at all. Me just talking for myself, I'm heavily invested in a lot of altcoins, but they're on the rise. Like they're shooting through the moon right now. So when we're in Bitcoin season, it's kind of like the statement of when people are greedy, be fearful. When people are fearful, be greedy. Same scenario here. When altcoin season is booming, look to Bitcoin. When Bitcoin season is booming, look to altcoins. So to answer the question are we currently in the altcoin season? The altcoin season index confirms that we are solidly in a yes. Now, it goes back into here again. If 75% of the top 50 coins perform better than Bitcoin over the last season, which was 90 days, it confirms that we're in altcoin season. So let's take a look at the top 50 performance over the last 90 days. Number one, Pancake. I don't know if you guys are in the Pancake swap, but it's currently it's owned by Binance, which is literally a clone of Uniswap. It's ridiculous how that came to be. But needless to say, it's currently right now at, what's the returns on that thing? 4,145%. Holy crap, that's a hell of a return. Yeah, it says over the past 90 days, Pancake has produced a return of 4,145%. That's awesome. Chili's, we all know about Chili's. They just had a massive pump as of late because they're an NFT platform. And they had some major announcements that came out here over the past month. So they had some major growth. They're at 2,703% over the past 90 days. Hot, which I think is a hollow chain, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take a look real quick. I know they're in the top. No, but it made a lot more sense. Yeah, hollow token. So they're wrong button. They are at currently 2,419%. BitTorrent token. I don't know what the hell's going on BitTorrent token. To be honest with you guys, I look at their volume, look at their market cap. Somebody's using it. I think there's something going on behind the scenes, but it's definitely been taken off as of late. Currently going further down the list, Engine. I jumped into Engine. I've been a big. That's my NFT. If you guys remember when I reviewed my portfolio. And I was talking about the different sectors that you want to be in as far as diversifying your portfolio. Engine is my NFT pick in regards to that sector of my portfolio. So they're doing great over the past 90 days. They're up 1,666%. There it is, Binance Coin. Over the past 90 days is up 1,276%. Like I said, I first discovered it back when it was $16. Jumped into it again when it was around $200 after they had that massive dip. Now it's at almost $600. It actually went over $600 earlier when it hit an all-time high. Here's the next one. I'm waiting on you guys to give me shit for it. I'm waiting on you guys to really lay into me. Dogecoin. Over the past 90 days, Dogecoin is up 928%. I am not mad at that. Again, I understand that Dogecoin is a hype coin, and over the past few months, we know Elon Musk, along with a few other, high-profile people, have been pumping the hell out of Dogecoin. Now, I can understand the reasoning behind Elon Musk pumping Dogecoin because of the fact that, um, he gets in trouble. Whenever he tweets something, I remember one time he tweeted out saying that Tesla stock was severely overvalued. It was overpriced. And, because of that, of course, the stock took a dip, and he got a knock on his door from the SEC, and he gets in trouble. Now, going back to Dogecoin, it's a safe play to promote. He's basically, they always say Elon plays 4D chess. Hell, he might plays 8D chess at this point. But him pumping Dogecoin is not because he believes in the coin. He's pumping the movement. And, of course, I don't know. I don't have an inside connection to Elon, but from the outside looking in, based on history, it makes a lot of sense. Dogecoin has no utility. Dogecoin is not tied to any one thing. There's no use case for Dogecoin whatsoever. It's the safest thing for a celebrity to pump because there's no tie into it or whatnot. You can use Dogecoin as a way to push the cryptocurrency movement. Like for a lot of people, their first exposure into crypto is through Bitcoin. My first exposure into crypto was through Bitcoin. And so now, unlike Robinhood and some of your other trading apps, Dogecoin is available. Well, for some new people into the game, especially when they look at price versus market cap, Dogecoin can be their first exposure in the crypto, pretty much, igniting their curiosity fuse, which could lead into, okay, what's this over here? What's that crypto over there? Basically, it can set off a chain reaction or plant that seed that moves you into learning about the crypto space as a whole. Dogecoin can basically be the gateway. So I can understand him pumping Dogecoin. Again, it keeps him out of trouble, and he can kind of, even though at this point in his career he kind of would be considered the man, but he's kind of sticking it to the man. I get where he's going with that. So I just kind of wanted to take a minute and give Dogecoin his props because Dogecoin has definitely been pumping. No questions asked. Hell, it's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the 7th highest performing coin in the past 90 days for this particular season. So you can't help but to give Dogecoin his props. I still want to invest in it. I refuse to invest in it. But the bottom line is Dogecoin is doing its thing. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in regards to altcoin season. What is altcoin season? Hell, what are altcoins? Basically, it's everything outside of Bitcoin. It's altcoin season is basically, what we just talked about. It's the performance of the entire cryptocurrency market and where Bitcoin dominance sits at any given time. So we know right now that according to the altcoin season index, we're currently sitting at a 92, which confirms a solid altcoin season. And, again, going through the chart, we've seen, the top performing altcoins, and they are kicking butt. If you guys have been investing in altcoins, I'm sure your portfolio loves you. I look at my portfolio and, I'm just smiling. I'm happy to report too that I finally got my brother involved in investing in crypto. So, I just want to throw it out there. I'm proud of him. He's finally making that step to kind of secure his future in regards to finances, getting a little bit more knowledgeable, getting that financial literacy under his belt. So really proud of him in that regard. So if he watches this video, just know, I'm proud of you. I love you. But that was it. I was just going to keep this one short. I didn't want to take up too much time rambling because, again, altcoin season is an easy one to talk about. It's just that a lot of people hear that term getting thrown around a lot, and they really don't have, a really good idea of what that means or what it is. So I just kind of wanted to do a review of it to hopefully, help some people out in regards to that. So I'm gonna open it up. This time when I open up the Q&A, I'm gonna make it a general Q&A. Again, I don't want to keep it specific to just altcoin because we have a lot of time, a lot of free time available right now. Generally our talks last about an hour, and we're only about 30 minutes in. So if you guys have anything that you want me to cover, hey, how do you do this? Got any questions or anything like that? By all means, let me know. You can put it in the chat, and you can raise your hand on the Zoom, and I'll be more than happy to open it up and let you guys, kind of have the floor. If you guys have any statements or anything like that. I had received a message earlier. I'm looking at the chat, by the way, so I won't miss you guys' questions this time if you do have any. But I did receive a message earlier from a friend of mine who I skate with, a good friend of mine, and his question was, I was talking about how I stored away, like I locked away some of my crypto in regards to securing it for my family, securing it for me, pretty much to the end of time. I put my very first Bitcoin that I ever acquired, my very first Bitcoin. It's on its own separate wallet with its own separate pass seed phrase, and it's locked away. So a friend of mine had put on the chat asking, hey, how did you go about doing that? And I don't know if he's watching that, but I had wanted to kind of talk about that for a quick second and kind of give an idea of how you can do that. So on the last episode, we talked about, basically every episode, we talk about the Ledger hardware wallets, and we did kind of a how-to on configuring the connecting the MetaMask. We on last week we did a whole review on Uniswap, and we talked about configuring the MetaMask to connect to the hardware wallet, things like that. Well, what you would do to answer that question of how can you pretty much lock away a certain cryptocurrency or a certain amount of cryptocurrency on a device that's outside of your normal investing, wallet or anything like that, or your trading account or something like that. Pretty much just, get your hardware wallet. Again, I prefer Ledgers. They have Trezors. They have a few other hardware wallets out there, and set it up and basically just transfer your crypto over to that particular wallet and lock the seed phrase away. Never use it. Don't connect it on your your trading account. Don't utilize it for any other reason. That's pretty much all you have to do. So it's really just it's a simple process. It's not anything that takes months of trying to figure out. It's not hard to do. Literally all you got to do is just take the once you get the wallet configured, get the public address for it, send those assets over to that particular address for that particular coin, and just lock it away. And there you go. So hopefully that answers that question. All right, so one more time, I'm going to open it up for anybody who may have any questions, anybody who may have want to make any statements. And if not, then we're going to call it a night, people. I want to give you guys a lot of your time back. I really appreciate you guys for joining. Hopefully this was insightful, even though it was quick. Hopefully it was still very insightful, gave you guys a little bit more insight onto what altcoin season is, how it operates, what it does. And you guys enjoy your Tuesday, and I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming out.